Today I wanted to read something also on Savitar, some introduction,
Mhm.
but let's start with mantra. Let me see whether we are recording. Okay. Om Vang me manasi pratisthita mano me vachi pratishthitam aviravirma edi Vedasyama anistha shrutam me ma prahasi anena dhitena horatran samdadhami ritam vadishyami satyam vadishyami tanmamavatu tadvaktaramavatu avatu mam, avatu bhaktaram, avatu bhaktaram. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So we read nearly the whole hymn, only a few are left. I think two only verses are left. So maybe I will, before I read two verses, I never read the introduction to it. So we will read my introduction and Sri Aurobindo's explanation of who is Savitar. And we had a gap also. One time we didn't meet, would be good to recapture what we did. This is the first hymn of Savitar in the Rigveda number 35 by Hiranyastupa Angirasa. And what is unique about this hymn that Savitar is always associated the with the night. So here we are. So we went through several verses. Before going to the 9th, 10th, and 11th verse, I will read this introduction with you together. You see the text, yes, in front. Mhm.
Yes.
This hymn to the sun as the creator, this is my words, and then there will be Sri Aurobindo's text. Composed by Rishi Hiranyastupa Angirasa, who is, as you know, Hiranyastupa, golden pillar, Angirasa, flaming Agni, is the first hymn to Savitri. Savitri is Pratipadika form, or Savitar, in the Rigveda. It is highly symbolic, depicting the power of the sun in relation to the power of the darkness, night. The symbol of the Godhead returning or coming back to himself over the regions of the night in the inconscient is the secret process of all manifestation. It is as if the divine is revealing his own being to his own consciousness. In detail, by rediscovering himself anew in all possible ways, varieties, qualities, and relations. In order to do so, he has to make first the consciousness, bliss, and truth of his infinite being fall, as it were, and lay out the environment, and then to engage with them by entering them, as it were, and thus bringing them back to their own full divine awareness and power. In this process of engaging himself, the phenomena of time, space, and causality come into being, reorganizing the fallen consciousness, bliss, truth, and his fallen self on the scale of their gradual recovery which is known to us as evolution, to be able to manifest and thus perceive all the infinite qualities in oneself in all possible ways, to know and experience oneself not only in the supreme identity, as the mother says, but also in a newly rediscovered unity. The night conceals within her bosom the Lord growing towards his own supreme identity, towards himself. And the dawn gradually reveals what the night keeps hidden there. The dawn is a twin sister of the night. She is the messenger of Savitar and the beloved of Surya, the supramental Godhead. He follows her as the Lord and her husband, traveling from the beyond through the night to manifest himself in you. I will close the door. 1 second. This fundamental characteristic of Savitar, to be engaged with the creation and to manifest things in and through the night, makes him a central figure among the Adityas. The three heavens of Savitar mentioned in this hymn are the key to the understanding of this manifestation. For there is a place in the regions of the night where the night is no more, so to say, in the two heavens of Savitar, higher and illumined mind, in Sri Aurobindo's terminology. These are our higher capacities of the mind, yes. Savitar is not restricted by these three heavens either. In the hymn of Vamadeva 4:53-5, we find such a verse, Tri antariksham savita Mahitvana Tri Rajansi Paribhuh Tri Nirochana Tisro Devah Prithivih Tisra Invati Tribhih Vrataiha Bhinorakshatit Mana. Savitar is surrounding with his triple mightiness, the antariksham, and its three spaces and three luminous realms, Rochana, setting three heavens in motion and three earths, perfecting us by his three laws, as if surrounding us by himself. Vamadeva depicts Savitar as the all-including, transcendental, and at the same time as involved Godhead, who is of the power of rhythm, a direct characteristic of the supramental dynamic truth in things, their right positioning and relations. Sri Aurobindo has a very beautiful article which was written in the early 30s when he was already in seclusion, which is called The Involved and Evolving Godhead. This would be the Savitar, yeah? The involved and evolving Godhead. For he includes also the three luminous realms, Trini Rochana, and all that is below it, making the three heavens and the three earths grow, revealing all the wonders of the divine on the scale of time and space. The divine dynamism presupposes two different relations. First, the enclosing, upholding, containing the whole, and the second, the involvement in it, participating, being contained. It is only with the supramental realization that these two principles of the divine dynamism can be fully harmonized and balanced. The night is a container which holds the divine, and yet it is contained by the divine. And this function is ascribed to Savitar, who embraces the night from both ends, as Shyavashva Atreya in the book 5, in the Mandala 5, puts it in his hymn, Utayasi Savitah Tri Nirochana, Uta Suryasya Rashmibhih Sam Uchyasi, Utara Tri Mubhayatah Pariyase, Uta Mitro Bhavasideva Dharma Bhih. And thou reachest, O Savitar, to the three luminous heavens, and thou art utterly expressed by the rays of the sun, and thou encompassest the night upon either side, and thou becomest by the law of thy actions the Lord of love. O God. This is Sri Aurobindo's translation. I have my own here note, I think. Sri Aurobindo's translation. Okay. O Savitar, you move towards the three luminous realms of Svar. This is mind. Intuitive mind, overmind, and supramental overmind. These are the highest realms which are connecting our highest possibilities of the mind heavens to the supramental, triple overmind. Totally fit with the rays of the sun, the outpouring of the supramental light, enclosing night from both sides, from above and from below, and by your laws, which are supporting the manifestation throughout, you thus become Mitra, the supreme consciousness of the Divine Mother Aditi, creating all that is in your all-measuring awareness. The profound perception here is that the light of Savitar is rising to Svar and enclosing the night from both sides, manifesting a perception of simultaneous oneness with transcendental. So he is involved and he is transcendental, right? Involved and evolving, and uninvolved. Transcendental means beyond involvement. There is a passage in The Secret of the Veda where Sri Aurobindo explains the phenomena of the Vedic night, and this is what I wanted to read the last before we go to the hymn. But the cave is only the home of the panis, the subconscious cave, in which they store all our higher perception and meditations, light. The treasures from above and from within is stolen by the panis and stored into that subconscious cave. But the cave is only the home of the panis. Their field of action is earth and heaven and midworld. Though that is their home, the subconscious cave, they act upon us in our heaven mid-world, that means in our mental, vital, and physical consciousness. They are the sons of the inconscience, but themselves are not precisely inconscient in their action. They have forms of apparent knowledge, maya, these creating forms, formations, formators. But these are forms of ignorance, the truth of which is concealed in the darkness of the inconscient, and their surface or front is falsehood, not truth. For the world as we see it has come out of the darkness, concealed in darkness, the deep and abysmal flood that covered all things, the inconscient ocean, apraketam salilam. In that non-existence, the seers have found, by desire in the heart and thought in the mind, that which builds up the true existence. They found the involved Godhead. This non-existence of the truth of things, asat, is the first aspect of them that emerges from the inconscient ocean. And its great darkness is the Vedic night, Ratrim Jagatoni Veshanim in our hymn, which holds the world and all its unrevealed potentialities in her obscure bosom. Night extends her realm over this triple world of ours, and out of her in heaven, in the mental being, dawn is born, who delivers the sun out of the darkness, where it was lying concealed and eclipsed, and creates the vision of the supreme day in the non-existence, in the night, asati ketum. It is therefore in these three realms that the battle between the lords of light and the lords of the ignorance proceeds through its continual vicissitudes. This was the passage from Sri Aurobindo. We can see this also in Sri Aurobindo's Savitri, the same symbolism of night and dawn. He always refers to night and together with the night, the dawn. Yes, the dawn is there within the night. Night is pregnant with the light of the dawn. And in the Veda, it is beautiful because these two sisters, they occupy the same space and they vacate the space. They make it empty for each other in the periods of time. So first dawn occupies the same space and then night comes, occupies the same space. So they're alternating the usage of the space. So it's kind of ups and downs on our journey. And we know the reason is the sacrifice. We have to bring the light we receive, we perceive our experience in our life into the darkness to enlighten it and to make it more conscious. So we read many passages. There is a very beautiful passage on Savitar here, which I didn't read. There's a long kind of introduction to the Surya Savitri, which I was creating. I wanted to publish this long ago, like 10 or 15 years back it was written. But here what is interesting is that what Sri Aurobindo says on Surya Savitri. Maybe we can read this before I come to the text, because very few verses are left. So here is this passage of Sri Aurobindo. But who then is Surya, the sun, asks Sri Aurobindo, from whom these rays proceed? He is the master of truth, Surya, the illuminator, Savitri, the creator, Pushan, the increaser. Now look how beautifully he put everything into the context. Surya, the creator, Surya, the illuminator, Savitri, the creator, Pushan, the increaser. We will come to Pushan. It's another aspect of the sun. His rays in their own nature are supramental activities of revelation, inspiration, intuition, luminous discernment, and they constitute the action of that transcendent principle, which the Vedanta calls Vijnana, the perfect knowledge, the Veda written, the truth. But these rays descend also into the human mentality and form At its summit, the world of luminous intelligence, Svar, of which Indra is the Lord. Svar is these three rochanas of a mind. Indra is the Lord of the divine mind, of that intuition. Lightning is his intuition, breaking through from above. For this Vijnana is a divine and not human faculty. Man's mind is not constituted of the self-luminous truth, like the divine mind. It is a sense mentality, manas, which can receive and understand truth, but is not one with it. The light of knowledge has to present itself in this human understanding, tempered so as to suit its forms to the capacities and limitations of the physical consciousness. So this manifestation is the important process which makes that luminous self, a luminous mind, kind of fade away, reaching out to the material manifestation. So there will be gradations, and so it can't be the same luminous mind. And it has to lead up progressively to its own true nature, to manifest successive evolutionary stages of our mental development. Therefore, the rays of Surya, as they labor to form our mental existence, create three successive worlds of mentality, one superimposed on the other: the sensational, aesthetic, and emotional mind, and pure intellect, the divine intelligence. The fullness and perfection of these triple worlds of mind exists only in the pure mental plane of being, where they shine above the three heavens. Tisro divach, tisro diavachos. As there are three luminosities, three nirochanani, and these are the three luminous realms of the overmind. So everything is kind of superimposed. We are used to speak about them as in a hierarchical sense, like one above the other, because we think in those terms, but it's not totally so. But their light descends upon the physical consciousness and affects the corresponding formations in its realms. The Vedic Parthivani Rajansi, earthly realms of light. They also are triple, Tisrach Prithivih, the three earths. And of all these worlds, Surya Savitri is the creator. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You can read the passage. It's quite interesting with many references to all those hymns which we will be reading in the future. But here I will stop, and what I want to show you is something interesting. Kind of to, again, I'm coming back to this vision. There is an interesting thing because Surya Savitar is embracing Antariksham and embracing the day, the night from both sides. How is that even possible? He is within and he is without, so to say. And here, this Antariksha, I already spoke about this before. This Antariksha is the very difficult to explain because Antariksha is some gap between heaven and earth. It's our navel, yes, through which separates upper and lower hemisphere within already lower hemisphere, heaven and earth, our mental and physical consciousness. Yeah, there is a gap, vital worlds. This vital world is the gap which goes beyond, and that is a svar world, which is another separation, overmind, triple overmind. Then there is triple vijnana, which separates this world in time and space, from the transcendental world of Satchitananda. And this is the triple supermind, Daksha, Amsha, and Surya. So if you look at this, so you will see something interesting, this embrace of Savitar, of the whole creation, yes, and at the same time presence at the level of Svar, presence at the level of Tisro Divaha, Dyavach, of three heavens. Three heavens means, you see, I put here heaven and earth like we understand them, upper and lower. But truly speaking, I should put now after Svar like heaven, the same as Vijnana Svar, heaven, then Antariksha, and then earth. So it's like, like we are peeling the onion or something. Yeah? So it goes in that way. It's very difficult to explain because we are thinking in terms of upper and lower and hierarchy and gravitational pull down. But there is no gravitational pull down. Yeah? So to draw it is, we should draw even triple heaven will be the same as triple Svarad. Look, the triple transcendental here, then we have triple Vijnana here, another. Then triple Vijnana, yes, then triple Svar, Trini Rochana, then triple heaven, then triple vital, and then triple earth. Just wanted to share this with you. Oh, you don't see it? Or do you see it?
No, no, Vladimir.
Oh, God. This is so stupid. I'm showing you this and talking about this and I see myself, but you don't see it. And you're looking very disengaged. So I ask you, and then it seems nothing was visible. So here it is. So this triple Satchitananda is projected into the triple supermind, yeah, Vijnana, which is kind of superimposed on triple Svar, Trini Rochana, which is expressed in triple heaven. Now I changed heaven and earth, you see. It has to be triple heaven the same way, the same as, and then triple Antariksha has to be, and then at the end there's triple earth here somewhere. So it's a wrong kind of, it's misrepresented because of heaven and earth at the end, because we are given this Hiranyagarbha in which we are born, our mental and physical consciousness with the vital in between. So this triplicity is kind of putting everything into the perspective. Yes, there is always higher in triplicity and lower, more unifying and more diversifying element. If you look at this scheme, this one, we will see it very clearly. Yes? Triple supermind here is projected into triple svar, and triple svar projects triple worlds of heaven, space in between heaven and earth. And each of these are also triple. So in that sense, I was saying that this triplicity is projected in always in triplicity. Yeah? And each of these triplicities has the same organization. So we have mental mind, vital mind, physical mind, from the most conceptual unifying to the most diversifying elements. Yeah? Diversifying power will be always in the vital, in between conceptual and the phenomenal. Yeah. So if you look at this vital is the same. Mental vital is more of the principle of beauty. Vital is that dynamism which creates the varieties. And finally, the physical vital is that which is perceived as sensation in time and space in a particular body. And then mental, physical, vital, physical, and physical, physical, the same story. Mental, physical is more the conceptual kind of power, or let us say the cell of mind, or the mind of the cells, sorry what I'm saying, the mind of the cells, what Mother refers to. There is a mind in the cells. And then there is the dynamic force in the cells, vital, physical, and then there is the physical, which is the most unique manifestation. So this principle, the same unity, one in many, in many, in one in many of the supermind, is projected onto all these triplicities. They are superimposed worlds. And from this, we know that the physical world is nothing but spiritual enterprise. Yes? Physical does not exist by itself and cannot exist without this triplicity being superimposed. And
Vladimir,
this, yeah.
Vladimir, sorry, just have a question. So where does the subtle physical come in?
Yes, it's a subtle physical, it's a term which we call, yes, which is actually vital world. In the vital Sukshma Sharira. Yes, Sukshma Sharira
Yes.
is that which has, on which we recognize the chakras, so to say, 7 chakras or 9 chakras or 12, really. So they are all there behind this, that what we call, it's a vital world.
So when you say vital world, the vital is there in all the 3 realms.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
It's vital in the physical, vital in the vital, and vital in the mental. The same with physical. This is the problem which our mind cannot easily solve.
okay.
So
And the
mind,
subliminal self that Sri Aurobindo talks about, the
yes,
subliminal, does it cover all these ranges?
yes.
Again,
When you're referring to subliminal as the universal here, yes.
correct.
Yes, oh, absolutely. We are just the product of that universal. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
There is a scheme of Sri Aurobindo here also. I do not know whether I have it here. I have to show you that. That will explain exactly what you wanted to explain with, but I do not have it ready, I guess. So why I'm showing this? Because I want us to see that the world is one. In spite of we think that there are many worlds, we think that we go to some other planes and experience something else. It's not like that. These antarikshas are the planes of the deeper and deeper and deeper life force, which goes up to the transcendental Satchitananda. So these are projections of the Satchitananda in its kind of deviation from its own self-awareness to the darkness from which the journey starts back to its own self-awareness. I should prepare that other thing for you, which you referred to, Jayashri, because it's important to see it.
Thank you, that will help.
I will come next time to this and show you that it is the same story, only spoken differently in the terms that which is more applicable to us and our psychology and our mental way of thinking about things. So I'm coming to the last 2 verses of our hymn. Yeah, if you have any question or clarification or something to share, so please cut in without me waiting. So these 2 last verses, 10 and 11. Let me read the number 9, which we read already. Hiranyapani, Savita Vicharshani Hubhedyava Prithivi Antariyate. Apamivam badhate veti suryam abhikrishnena rajasadhyam renoti. Savitar with golden arms active enters the space in between heaven and earth. Interesting. Savitar with golden arms active enters the space, that antariksha, in between heaven and earth. He removes all obstacles and compels the sun to appear. He is pushing the sun, makes him rise. And by or through the dark space, he moves towards heaven. The key function of Savitar is stated here as Abhikrishnena Rajasadhyam Renoti. We read this last time. He approaches or moves towards heaven by the dark space, or he moves or spreads even heaven by the dark space. It is this characteristic which makes Savitar the god of sacrifice, Yajatach. For it is through and by the darkness, that he arrives at the heavenly light. Therefore, it was mentioned in the previous verse that there are three heavens of Savitar, of which one is in the mortal heaven, and the two are properly his, higher and illumined mind, in Sri Aurobindo's terminology. And these two are still the extensions of consciousness of night. This is quite confusing, yes? It is still in the realm of the night, but it is no more under the night's, so to say, total ruling, yes? There is awareness of a higher consciousness and light, which is entering and settling within the higher mind and illumined mind. It is these two heavens of Savitar which actually make the connection with the Supreme Light from above of the intuitive and overmind levels. Thus he links the higher and the lower hemisphere over these two regions of the night, spreading them, as it were, Abhikrishnena Rajasadhyam Renoti. So he approaches or moves towards heaven by the dark space. By the way, the rishis do not care that it is confusing our mind which operates by black and white, yes or no. It is neither yes nor no. Yes, it is something else. It is more complex, more realistic. So there is a mind which can look at the reality differently and take yes and no into it and deal with it. So we are coming to the verse we never read. Hiranyahastach asurach sunithach sumridikach suavan yatu arvang apasedhan rakshaso yatu dhanan asthad devach pratidosham grunanach. May the mighty God Asurach and the perfect guide Sunitrach with the golden hands Hiranyahastach. Before we had Hiranyapanich, the same golden hand, come straight to us, Yatu Arvang, bringing his own power for our growth and protection. Supremely gentle, Sumrilika. He is also gentle, soft, driving away all the Rakshasas and Yatodhanas. Maybe he's soft to us, but not to Rakshasas and Yatodhanas. Yatodhanas are these sorcerers who are perversing our consciousness. The god stood there who is invoked in the darkness, Pratidosham Granana, being invoked, Granana, or praised, Pratidosham. Pratidosham, we can also translate as fronting the night. Again, here we have a confirmation of Savitar's relation with the night. Nearly every verse mentions the night in this hymn. He is the God who is invoked in the night, Pratidosham Granana, or literally fronting the night. He is invoked or praised, driving away all the Rakshasas and other demons coming to us directly with his support, protection, increase, mercy, perfect guidance, and mighty power in his golden hands. He can always extend and save the soul in the darkness. And the last verse of this hymn, Ye ye panthach savitach purvyasach arenavach sukrita antarikshe tebhich no adya pathibhich sugebhich rakshachano adhicha bruhi deva. O Savitar, those paths of yours which were first and pure, well made in the Antariksha, by those paths today easy to travel, you protect us, O God, and on those paths you protect us from the dark forces. And again, the presence of Savitar in the darkness is mentioned. It is his ancient paths, Purviya Sarpantha, which are made well, Sukrita, perfectly made, on which he can protect the travelers to the other shore and intercede for them with the dark forces. It's interesting, Abhicha Bruhi Deva, this last phrase, Adhicha Bruhi, Adhi is above, and speak from above, that is say, O God. What does it mean, speak from above here? Speak in favor of, or favorably to, or intercede for. It is more maybe command, send your will, send your indication, adesh to us, yes? Protect us on your perfectly made path and send us the indication, so to say, how to proceed. Maybe it could be translated in this way. Okay, this is the end of this hymn. There's another hymn coming to us, which is even more complex.
Vladimir?
Yes.
I had a question. I mean, not a question. You were going to tell us about Pushan.
Yes, we will come to Pushan. Pushan is from push, to become full. It is the sun involved which is making matter more receptive of the truth, involved in the material form, in the physical form, let us say, receiving the supramental light in the physical form. Very important Godhead. There are 6 hymns in the Rigveda to Pushan. And they have, of course, all Pushan is just another name for the sun.
Vladimir, this 11th verse, I was just thinking the invocation to Savitar. It is also something that is very applicable to the souls that pass away, isn't it?
Yeah, pass away or just move on their journey, yes, on their path. Yes, We are all passing away slowly from the past to the future, yes, so to say. Yes, if you look at the reincarnation, you mean, way,
Yeah,
yeah?
those who have left the body, you know, this kind of verse invoking Savitar to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very applicable. Apart from us also praying, I mean, you know, invoking it before sleep so that we don't suffer nightmares. But it's much more than that, I understand. It's much more deep than that. But I'm saying,
it could be applicable to any movement, yes, on the path. You're right, and also to those who left the body and those who didn't yet, and those who are coming into life. But interesting, these paths are arenavach. They are without dust, without mixture with darkness, or they are pure in their truth. Yeah? They are clean paths, sukrita. They are well made in the antariksha. It is in this antariksha, that's why I was showing this antariksha, because it goes not only to heaven in this Hiranyagarbha, it moves also, antariksha moves deep into the transcendental. So there is this connection of the supramental Godhead. And within the supramental, there is that transcendental Godhead, Purushottama, yeah, who is reaching out through the souls to this creation. So, and those paths are made. This is the sunlit path, actually. That's what we call sunlit path, yes. Pure path lit by the sun. And once we reach to those absolute sunlit paths, then the path itself becomes very easy for us. But easy in what sense? Right. Difficult for the darkness, but easy for the light in us. All right, I will stop projecting. See your faces. And we'll listen to you now. Your impressions and...
So Vladimir, Pushan can be the force of the sun, which is always...
Somehow Pushan draw your attention more than anything else. Pushan was mentioned in the passing. It comes
I don't know. I see him as a very big force pushing us from dark to light.
Pushing is a good word, yes. Pusher, Pushan. He does do. He is from Yeve Pushti Vardhanam, if you remember. Yeah? Pushti Vardhanam.
Yeah.
Urvarukam Iva. Yes, Pushti, Pushan is something which is making things evolve, yeah, grow in consciousness. Our instruments, our bodies need to grow in consciousness, and Pushan is that force of the sun which provides that push, yeah, forward, right. We will see this in his hymns. It will be very evident what he does. And among all these devatas, he is considered to be a Shudra. Later, of course, we are speaking about the Brahmanas. In the Brahmanas, Pushan is Shudra. Surya is Kshatriya, the king, the Raja, shining and ruling. Whereas Pushan is a servant. Servant in what sense? Servant of light within the instruments, yeah? Making them work and being more receptive of the light, higher light. And in that sense, it makes more sense who is Pushan. Again, it tells us again about this problem of our mind, which wants to see what is what and where it belongs, yeah? To put everybody in them. space and time, and then see how they work together. But we do not have the mind which looks at it as one enterprise, yes? And even physical is nothing but spiritual, but we don't see it. We think nature is separate from the spirit, physical is separate from the spirit. Yeah? Matter and spirit are two different worlds, as it were, because of the mind in between, which makes that understanding possible. But it is not so. Mind is one of those operators within this world of the spirit, yeah, which makes material manifestation possible. Mind. Interesting, yeah, from this perspective of the Veda.
The last verse suddenly made sense to me when you mentioned the sunlit path, because it reminded me Savitar and Savitri, which reminded me Divine Mother. And thinking about the mother doing the yoga, surrender to the mother, and she does the yoga. And so these easy paths suddenly came into context for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Savitri. Savitri is the daughter of the son of Savitar. Yeah, daughter means the messenger, that force which entered into the darkness to do the work of the Savitar. And she is the word to speak. She came the word to speak, the work to do, the word to speak. From Savitri Sri Aurobindo. The word to say, I don't remember how exactly, but yes, it is with her force, and she is the one who brings Surya into manifestation, the dawn. It is even said that Surya is the chariot of Varuna and Mitra, of the divine being and consciousness, because Surya has 7 brothers behind, 6 brothers behind, yes, all the Adityas, again superimposed. So to say, Surya is the embodiment of all of them. It is said that Surya is the chariot for the divine being in consciousness. Can you imagine? Chariot, carrier of that all treasures of the transcendental Aditi, and manifesting it in time and space through the movement. These are beautiful symbols.
Vladimir, how should I understand the word measurement? Is it an outlining, or is it measurement as we scientifically measure? Is it some kind of a perimetering or a
Together
limitation?
with perimetering means limiting, delimiting, as Urban says, yes? Delimiting
Okay.
as limiting, so to say,
Okay.
making it separate from others, making for the consciousness possible to fix itself upon one element of the whole. Yeah? And that is measurement.
And these different levels of the formations, like mental, physical, and vital physical, and vital, uh, these can also be seen as different formations. See, I being Manomaya Purusha, a mental being most of the time, but I can, if I wish, cover the range of physical, vital, and I can experience those things, whatever those formations are. Is it something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. And you also can experience and measure the immeasurable, yes, if you want. You have the consciousness which allows you to focus itself upon anything, any object of sense or, image of things. And you can also focus it on the divine and become the divine. And that is the consciousness from root ma, mother, yeah? And from here mitra, from the same root ma, to measure. Measure out means to shape it, to create it. When we measure,
in
we
this
create.
sorry, yeah, in this whole hymn I definitely got this sense of that it is all one thing which is being projected upon different layers or different
Measurements.
dif yes. And therefore it is actually all one, but we are not able to see it that way.
Right.
So it is the rays of Savitar which are really making the three heavens, the three earths, and the three antarikshas.
Right.
And why is the middle antariksha or the middle one always so full of churn and movement? Whether you take the physical three or the vital three or the mental three, the middle one is full of churn. Middle one is full of mixtures, as you say. Any thoughts on that? Why is the
Yeah,
middle
many
one
in
like
one
that?
and one in many, yes.
Okay.
Where the many is being produced. That's why so much locomotion there, because one has to be produced into a unique many. And how would you do it? Really, the most difficult task, yes, to make one many, and many one. So, and hold it and make it and shape it. And so that creative force of time as Shakti, yes, separates this infinite oneness into the bits and pieces connected in the meaningful oneness, in the meaningful procedure to hold and support the oneness. You have the possibility to focus on every element and detail.
And what would be the role of Vayu in that middle layer, carrying from above to below and below to above? What would Vayu be really?
Vayu is yajna, Vayu Pavamana, is that sacrifice where all the elements come together to play out and to manifest what? To manifest what? The divine. Manifest the divine in time and space. And it seems that that is life. Life is that manifestation. Yeah? The physical will be the carrier, the holder of that uniqueness, let us say, and the mental will be the holder of the oneness, yes, of all relation, meaningful relation in manyness, and the vital will be that diversifying element, which will make things possible in its fundamental manifestation in time, because the divine is not yet available in time and space in its fullness, and most probably will never be fully available. But
So the middle one will actually endlessly keep on creating.
right, and that is the sacrifice. Vayupamavana is yajna. Yes. I'm now referring to the Brahmanas. Vayupavamana is yajna, Hitareya Brahmana. Yes. That which connects heaven and earth is the constant, ongoing, experiential perception of the divine by himself through us. Yeah? That is our experience. We are all looking for that pranic experience. Yeah? It's kind of amazing. Even our mental and vital, mental and physical are needed only to create that something within, that life formation, to get new and more luminous sense of experience. Joy, ananda, if you will. And if it is not, if Ananda is not there, then mental and physical are really not needed.
These
Ladu,
elements can go back wherever they came from.
Right,
And
they will
we
disappear somewhere, yes. They're here only to manifest that bliss, yes. More and more bliss, more and more bliss as truth and as, yes, and power and consciousness and being in more purity. And somebody said something, yes?
me,
Yeah.
Nadime, yesterday we were studying. Can I read out a passage from
Sure,
Shiva?
please.
We were studying with Jayashri the ideal of Karma Yoga. So in the three Purushas, this is what he says. It is one intelligence looking at itself from 100 viewpoints, each point conscious of and enjoying the existence of the others. The shoreless stream of idea and thought, imagination and experience, name and form, sensation and vibration, sweeps onward forever, without beginning, without end, rising into view, sinking out of sight. Through it, the one intelligence, with its million self expressions, pours itself abroad, an ocean with innumerable waves. One particular self expression may disappear into its source and continent, but that does not and cannot abolish the phenomenal universe. The one is forever, and the many are forever, because the one is forever. So long as there is a sea, there will be waves.
Beautiful, so beautiful. You see, there is no better way to say about this enterprise of the spirit. I like that he came back. The many is forever because the one is forever. It's so wonderful. He repeats the one who is forever twice.
Yes.
A second time is very important. It's a very intuitive thought. Second time. First time is like important to say, as one is forever and many is forever because the one is forever. That is something. It's difficult to explain with the mind which is dissecting everything and making separate shapes and concentrates on them. But there is another mind which is behind it, yes, which is superimposed on it. So we kind of trying to plug into that cloud of that higher mind.
So beautiful.
Thank you for reading it. It's beautiful, really. Great, we can stop here for today and then start another hymn next time. We'll close with mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om.